Yo, what's going on? Today we're working on a 2015 Subaru WRX. We are going to do a upgrade on a top mount intercooler with hard piping, oil to water separator, upper trans mount, a lower trans mount. So look forward.
Record on the beats.
Hey guys, so this is the half here. We're going to install the intercooler piping. The branding of this kit is called Progress West. It has all the full hardware, the intercooler duct, the whole cabangle. We're going to put it, so stay tuned. The intercooler in the Subaru here, there's a few nuts and bolts, 12s, 14s, flat screwdrivers. This piping here, it needs to be taken off, so we're gonna work on that right now. Right now we're gonna put the intercooler off and the piping out first, and then move on to the next thing. The intercooler is held by a clamp here, 12 millimeter here, 12 millimeter here, and 12 millimeter in the back. 12 millimeter in the back too. Once that's done, he slides right out. All right, next thing we're gonna install is the pit stop brackets. This goes on the master cylinder. You got to unbolt the two 1200 bolts back there, sneak this behind there and bolt that in. We just unbolted and undo the hydraulic line that goes to the slave. That's going to get replaced by a steel braided line, and that's provided on there. On this side, this is the other bracket that goes on the passenger side, right next to the end here. I don't know if you can see that, but right over here. It's also provided hardware with two rivets that needs to be pushed into the firewall. Do note there's an electric main harness that comes through there. You need to move that out of the way and zip tie that onto the ground wire to install this bracket here. So installing the passenger side bracket, you need to put a rivet that's provided on it, and it goes right here. And there's two rivets that's got to be installed. This is actually a rivet tool that's given to you. You insert the rivet into a firewall and you use a 10 millimeter to tighten it up to expand the rivet to sit in there. Once that's sitting there, you take that out and put the bracket here and bolt it up to there, like that. There's two bolts and hardware that's all provided. And again, with both of these braces, it will help a lot out due to the back mount getting ripped off due to high horsepower cars or any mod of these cars. For some reason this had a weakening point, but by doing this mod, it helps a lot with this situation. Size difference. Intercooler size difference. Huge thick aluminum versus stock. So the next thing we're working on is there's two bolts on the turbo. That's on the top side here. You can see barely see my extension touching the bolts on the turbo here and here. To access this, you need to drop down the lower tray to access from some of the clamps. So you got to take the blow valve off. the coupling, some of the fittings on there too, and then I would suggest a long extension like this from the top to get one of the bolts off the turbo. This is what we're going to replace it with. This is the new coupler and fitting that's going to replace that. The blow-off valve goes on here now. That's going to be mounted on the turbo. So this is the all-in-one piece. You can see here the upper, this is the turbo sitting here. There's 2 bolts that goes into the inlet. The cold side sits here, but there's these 2 bolts here are 12s, and these are also 12s. They need to be removed. I would highly recommend moving this whole piece off. There's a vacuum light here, there's a big vacuum light here, there's another here, there's also another connector here, and then one connector, one clamp over here. Once you get that off, everything on bolts, there's one on top of here too, by the intercooler itself. Once you get that, there's another clamp here, and then it can finally come undone. This is the old piece. The aftermarket piece is here you go, sit like that, all set together. So you can see it coming together as we install this. All right, the upper trans mount is installed now. Bolt here, the 2 bolt back here for the bracket, the 4 bolts back here, and then the main bolt that goes to the top of the transmission here. The next thing we're going to install is the intercooler that comes across our hard line. Our hard pipes is installed already. That's coming from the turbo from below. Runs through here and back here. We're also running a water to oil separator that runs from this line that comes from the crankcase from the passenger side vent here. That goes up to the top of this here, and the other line here runs to the driver's side. And then this big breather hose here, actually it's sucked from the turbo on the inlet, goes into the canister there. So we also just got done installing that too, but now the next is the intercooler. This came up underneath of the hood. As you can see, we already took off the plastic air duct, replaced with the full aluminum or metal air duct here. All the hardware bolts directly on there, so it's pretty straightforward where this goes. Once that's all attached, and then you can bolt this obviously back to where you started. This install is going to take 6 hours. We installed a Progress West intercooler with piping, a pitch stop, a bracket in the rear firewall, the upper trans mount, and the water air separator, and technically the exhaust cap back that's on there. So 6 hours. It's pretty straightforward install. Everything fits actually pretty nice. And the intercooler, I can tell you one thing, it is a really tight fit. Just for tips for next time, you don't technically need to take this upper cowl off. If you can, what we did, we just slightly pried it like about 1 inch to slide in the intercooler to fit in, but it's extremely tight fit in there. So yeah, but this is pretty much done. We're gonna fire it up.